Hi everybody. How everybody doing? Thank you for joining Jasmine in the morning. I want to touch on some bases that I just got a word of, like, this is so crazy. And I have a special guest for you guys today. But let's just pray for all the transgender people that is being murdered, like, without a doubt. They just getting their life took away from them because of ignorance and stupidity. At least 28 transgender people was killed this year. That's 28 people. Like, what is the world coming to? That's 28 people. If you're watching this, please share it. Hashtag Trans Lives Matter. Hashtag Trans Lives Matter. Please share this video because 28 transgender people had their life took from them this year. Being murdered. Like, murdered in cold blood. And then that's up from last year, because it was only 26 last year. 26 last year, 28 this year. And this year's not even done. This year's not up yet. Thank you, Kiki. Hashtag Trans Lives Matter, you guys. Share this video, share this video, share this video. That's not even, the year's not even up. And that's 28 people. 28 people who lost their lives already this year. And that's according to the data collected by the National Center for Transgender. So that's real. Like, that's what came from the National Center of Transgender People. That data, 28 people. 28 people. 23 of the victims were transgender women. Of course, black. Transgender black women. 23 of the victims was transgender black women. And 4 of the victims was transgender men. Like, they don't care. They do not care who you is, transgender. They're murdering us left and right. They getting rid of us because they fear what they don't understand. Like, these are human beings. These are people who's getting their life took every day. Please share this video, you guys. Hashtag trans lives matter. These people getting their life took every single day. Not even a day that go by that these people, like, 4 of them was transgender men. So you think they care because they transgender men? No, and the other one was a binary man. Like, that's 28 people getting their life took for nothing. We need to stop the killing, you guys. This is getting outrageous. Whether it's transgender men or transgender women, you need to stop the killing. It needs to end. We need to stop the killing. This is crazy. I have never seen this a day in my life. Like, all these transgender people getting their life took for nothing. For nothing. Just getting their life snatched away from them. Why? Because they're transgender? Why? Because they're different? Somebody please make me understand, like, why transgender people getting their life took. I started this hashtag Trans Lives Matter movement for us. I started this movement for you. I started this movement for them. And I need you guys to really jump on board with this. I really need for you people to really support. You say you support it. Show me you support it. Share this video. Hashtag Trans Lives Matter. Because we're losing them every day. Every other week we're losing them. And I just don't understand how one can be okay with it. I don't understand how one person can be okay with someone losing their life. I don't get it. Hashtag Trans Lives Matter is the movement for us. It's a platform for us. Like, share this video. Hashtag Trans Lives Matter. Because people need to hear this. People fear what they don't understand. People need to hear this. Hashtag Trans Lives Matter. Share this video. Because 28 transgender people had their life took. 28. That's 28 people gone. That's 28 people we'll never see again. 28 people had their life took because they was transgender. This has gone too far. This needs to stop. It's up to us to put an end to it. Like, this needs to stop. I'm so outdone. Like, when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's up from last year. That's up from last year. I just don't get it. I need somebody to help me understand, like, why it's the trans people that's being murdered in cold blood. It's the trans people that's being murdered in cold blood. I have a special guest for you guys today. and we're gonna talk about some great stuff. So you guys really need to tune into that. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Are you ready? I'm gonna add you on. You got to get on my live so I can add you on there. Yeah, so I can add you on there. Like I don't understand people. Like let's get with the program. Let's get with it because if you say you support hashtag Trans Lives Matter, you say you support that. Show me you support it. Show me you support hashtag Trans Lives video. Hashtag Trans Lives Matter in the comment because people need to hear this. It's a lot of stuff that you guys would never know. Like the news ain't gonna never tell 28, 28 transgender people life has been took from them. And it's probably was over something so petty. So petty. So petty. But I want you guys to share this video. I want you to hashtag. Hi my brother. I don't know with the static and all that. I don't understand. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's a lot of static. I don't know what. I need to find another way because this is. Can you
What
hear
about
me?
now?
Okay,
Is it
good.
still static?
No, no static.
Okay, great.
Uh,
Yeah, I can
okay,
hear
you
you.
guys. I have my special guest. This has been my friend ever since I can remember. I was like 12, 13 when y'all had moved down the street from us on Looney. I was about 13
Yeah.
years old. Like y'all, this has been my friend forever, and I brought him on so he can give us some give us some clarity, honey. So, my first question to you is, how are you doing today? That's not a question, but how are you? How are you? You doing all right?
I'm well. Staying safe like everybody else is. I I'm well, staying safe like everybody else is. Washing my hands, wearing my mask, doing stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, what? Okay, my first question is, what made you? Well, I'm not gonna say made you, but what inspired you to be Tobias?
Okay. So that's like an interesting question.
Yes, what inspired you?
Well, I've always been Tobias. I started off as Tobias, but what a lot of people don't know, I got an echo.
You do? I don't hear it.
Yeah, I do. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I don't hear no echo.
Okay, I'll start over again. So I've always been Tobias. I started off as Tobias. I was born as Tobias. What a lot of people don't know is that probably like 20 years ago, I would say 20. I'm not gonna say my age because well, I'm 42. And as far as like with the 20 years ago, I used to be transgender.
Mm,
I used to be transgender. I was in the position to transition, and so um, I kind of started how I started out. Right,
mm-hmm,
I started out. I came out when I was 16 years old. I came out with my best friend Oshalada and my friend Michael Jones, who passed away. I think the very first time that I ever encountered anything gay or homosexual is we went to a Kappa party. My brother's a Kappa, and we went to a Kappa party. And then they said, "Well, do you want to go to a club, right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm 16. I want to go to a club. I want to party. I want to turn up, do all that."
Right.
So they took me to Central Station, right? So we went to Central Station, and it was like it was like, wow. It was kind of scary, but then it wasn't scary because I knew that that's where I wanted to be at that point, but I was still scared. So we went to Central Station a lot of times, a couple of times, had fun, did a lot of stuff like that, and it was like summertime. The first time I ever saw a drag queen, I went outside and I walked outside and I saw Miss Terry, I saw Miss Vicky, and I saw Miss Bougie. And they were like standing out there. They were
Legends.
like really tall. Those are like the legends of the legends of Shreveport.
Legends.
They actually were really tall, and I was like, "Oh my God, who is that? Who is that?" And Oshala said, "That's Miss Terry." And at that time, Miss Terry had breasts, and I was like, "How did she get those?" And it was like, I really want to be around them. So my best friend Shannon, um, we were on the cheerleading team at school. She was a cheerleader, and I was actually a mascot. So Shannon was already hanging with Miss Terry and Bougie and Vicky, and I was just coming out. I was like 16. So you would kind of say during that time, I would be like girl like pants and shirts and stuff like that. I was still young. I still had that little young look, so I kind of looked a little feminine, a little masculine at that time. So hanging around them, all of them were in drag, and Shannon had just graduated school, and she was actually getting in drag, and um, I wanted to do it, right? So Miss Miss Terry said, "Well, if you're gonna hang with us, you're gonna have to get in drag." So
Because,
it
baby, you
was a
know her. She got a
weekend.
mouth on who?
She had a mouth on her. She was like really
Yes.
like that. So it was like a weekend. If anybody knows like Vicky Vale and like Miss Vicky or Miss Mark that used to do hair, she used to always have parties. She also have parties like 3 day parties. Everybody used to come from like Dallas, Arkansas for like 3 whole days straight. So the very first time I ever got in drag was like around New Year's. So Miss Terry put me in drag, and I had on like a honey blonde wig, and it was like they called me Hillary Clinton because I looked like Hillary Clinton. Miss Terry had painted me white and all that, and it was like the worst experience ever because it wasn't how I wanted to look, and I feel
Right.
like that's not how I should have looked.
Right.
So me and Shannon, we were like thick as thieves. We were like everybody used to
Yes.
call us twins because we used to look just alike.
Just like, I swear to
So
God, like, I remember that. See, half of the people don't remember that, but I remember that y'all looked at
we used
exactly
to look
like
just
identical.
alike. We used to look just alike.
Yes, most
And she
definitely.
told me like, well, if you're gonna get in drag, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have to do your own makeup. So at that time, I actually um I actually watched Shannon, and we like did our hair. Her sister did my hair for the first time. Back then we didn't have like lace fronts and we didn't
Right,
have like wigs. We used to get our hair glued in our head.
right,
And for me being 16 years old and my family not knowing what I was doing, I would leave school on Friday, go with Shannon to her house, get my hair glued in that Friday night, go out and just be a girl, right? And it was like hiding, you know. So one particular day, like one Saturday, we were like in the mall, right? And one of my classmates' mom saw me, and she went back and told my mom and my dad, and it came to the point where my dad asked me what did I want to do. It was like I know they already kind of probably already knew about me being gay, but what did I want to do? What decision did I want to make? And then I told him, I said, oh, I want to be a girl, you know. And he told me, as long as I'm happy and as long as I'm able to be happy in what I'm doing, he supported me. That's the one thing I loved about my dad. My dad supported me in everything that I did.
yes,
Like
most definitely.
my friends, everybody knew my dad and Mr. Jack. He was like really,
Yes,
really cool. He
very.
he stayed on P Avenue.
Yep.
He respected everybody. Everybody respected him. He respected everybody that was my friends, everything that we did. That was the only thing that was different. So kind of fast forward, fast forward. So at this point now, I'm like trans.
Right.
At that time, we didn't know what trans was. We didn't call ourselves trans. We called ourselves the girls.
Right.
We were the girls.
Right.
We were the girls of Shreveport. And at that time, it wasn't that like it is now in Shreveport. It kind of like stuns me because of the fact that like it's so many of y'all there, and like back then, it wasn't that many of us. It was
Right.
just probably it was me and Miss Shannon. It was Miss Terry, Vicky, Boo J. It was Miss Marshall and them,
Marshall, yeah.
Dirt,
Mhm.
Sharon. It wasn't that many of us.
Right.
So it kind of hurts me a little bit because of the fact that what you all have to experience as trans women. Only because of the fact that during that time that like when we were out, we didn't experience stuff like that. We could go to the store, we could go to the clubs, we could walk around, we could be in the neighborhood, and no one disrespected us.
Right. Right.
No one did anything like that to us because of the
Most
fact that
definitely.
we had a form of respect. Like we had respect from people that went to school with us. We had cousins. It wasn't like that. And as far as like being, I'll say trans, being trans then because we never it just wasn't like it is now.
It's
It's
not,
not.
and
It's not.
I can remember when you guys used to walk down the street like leaving from the house, and I used to be sitting on the porch. I was a little boy then, and I used to sit on the porch. I was like, them some pretty women. My brother used to say, them men. I said, them some pretty women. Like I remember this. I remember it vaguely. Like I can't never forget it. And you guys were so pretty. Like every last one of y'all, like you, Miss Terry, Shannon, all y'all girls was just so pretty. And I remember when Shannon, um, when they had, I don't know what it was. I don't know what the beef was between Shannon and them. You know what I'm saying? But Shannon had started hanging with me like every day. Like every day, she used to come to my house every day, and she would never tell me what was going on. She was like, I used to always say to myself, like, if I didn't deal with my friends, I was gonna find me some new friends. And I'm like, why would she say that like all the time? Like she was real hurt, whatever it was, or whatever the case may have been. She was really hurt, and I can remember her just sitting on the edge of my bed and just like talking, like she was really hurt, and she used to always. That's why I got to
I
give.
think that with us, I think that with us, we were like real sisters.
Right,
Miss Monica, she was like our big sister.
right,
Then Miss Shannon was the middle sister, and I was the baby sister. So, you know, middle sister, Marsha, 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 Marsha.
uh-huh,
So I think that as friends and like we all had our disagreements at that time, but we were always so very close. I mean, we
yes,
did so much stuff together. I mean, we actually transitioned together. It's stuff that we did that we felt like we had to do together to be what we wanted to be, and ultimately it was women.
right,
That's what we wanted to be.
right. And okay, so that's what you wanted to be then, right? Because what happened? What happened to that with you? Like, what happened to the transitioning to now? Like, what happened in between?
I think ultimately, with any human being, you want to be accepted, right?
Most
So
definitely.
being accepted comes with love from your family. It comes from love from your friends, and it comes from love from a significant other. Being transgender or being trans per se, you get a lot of you enter a lot of obstacles. I'm sorry, braces. Obstacles where it's hard to find a significant other sometimes because when you're trans or you're trans, we're gonna say trans women. We can say trans men too. it's kind of like a fetish to some people, and it's something where the the people that you're attracted to or you want to be in a relationship with, they kind of put you in the background and hide you, right?
Mm.
So at that time, I'm not gonna say, hey, we were like pretty girls, and I was like a pretty girl, and like a lot of people that look at me now today cannot, unless you really just know me. But if I would tell somebody I used to be a trans girl, or like when I'm attempting to date somebody and I try to be totally honest about a lot of stuff, because I still have friends today that call me Nisi. They
Yes.
still call me that because that's what they know,
No. Right.
and that's what they're used to and that's what they're comfortable with. And even looking at me like this, they still see that and they still get those characteristics and those mannerisms sometimes. And I think that during that time, it was okay. It was cool. The boys, you could go out, the boys think you a girl.
Right.
Then they find out and they're still fine with it and they're gonna spend a little time with you and it's like really cool and I'm really living in the truth that I wanna be, right?
Right.
After a certain time though, it kinda gets lonely though. Because you do want that companionship and you do want to be in a relationship and you don't want to be in a relationship with someone that is putting you on the back burner, right?
Correct.
So I think I was what, like 25, and I was like 25, and me and my best friend Renee, I used to always be with Renee all the
Mm-hmm.
time. We used to always go out. We used to
Mm-hmm.
always do this. We used to always like be around each other, and it was like 2000, 99, 2000, and we were gonna come to Houston, right? So we came to Houston or whatever, and if anybody knows like the way we were when we were the girls,
Right.
we really didn't hang around gay guys. We really
Period.
didn't hang around gay guys. We were always in the straight club. We were always around straight people. It was certain it was certain gay guys that we were around
Right.
that were kind of like our brothers in our family, or like it was a lot of people that it was a few. It was a few. And it was never like it is now where the gay guys would accept and want to talk to the girls or the
Right.
transgender girls. Then in 1996, 1997, 98, the gay guys didn't like trans girls like that. Yeah, they liked the trans girls because they were beat, they were pretty, they were like their sisters, they were like the girls that do the drag. Oh, Miss Thing, you look good.
Right.
You're sickening and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't like if it was a gay guy that you saw that you probably wanted to have a relationship with or be with, you couldn't do it because they wouldn't accept you, right?
Right.
So fast forward 2000, right? So at that time, it kind of happened. It is funny how it happened. It wasn't that I intentionally got out of drag, but it was kind of funny how it kind of happened. So at that time, I'm bald now, but then I had hair, right? So
Right.
I bleached blonde my hair and it fell out. So I ended up having to get a haircut. So at that time, I started wearing wigs, and then the opportunity came to come to Houston. So we came to Houston or whatever, and like anybody that knows like places like Houston, Atlanta, Philadelphia, New York, like gay guys look like gay guys look like normal men. We look like normal men, and it was like, oh my god, like these guys look really nice. And then it started off like that. First relationship I had with a guy was
You
a
have a
gay guy, and
question.
it was
Someone want
like
to know.
fresh.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but somebody want to know. So, do you think the fear of being lonely is what caused you to detransition? I have always seen you as a girl. Hold on, seen you as a girl. Yeah.
That's right, Cedric. That's right, Cedric. And I mean, that's right, Cedric. And like Cedric was one of the gay guys that he was a gay man that was around us all the time. And I think that yes, like if and he can attest, like he was around us, and it was just a fear of not having that relationship and that bond, and I think that if it was like now, and if I had transitioned now or around this time, the way everything has evolved, I think that I probably would still be trans
because it took me
because I would
so
have a
long.
relationship.
It took
And I
me
think being lonely at that time and like being a fetish
right.
or not somebody that you could just have like you see your male friends that are gay and their boyfriends are out,
Yeah, like me.
and it's like a you want to be able to be accepted. You don't want to be able to say when you're out with your male friend and somebody says, "Oh, that's a man,"
Yeah,
or "That's a man," or "Look." You don't want to see that. You want to be able to go out, and I think that what a lot of straight or cisgender people don't understand, gay, transsexual, transgender, relationships are just like your relationships. We come home, we cook, we argue, we watch TV, we watch P Valley, we go out to dinner, we go bowling, we do the same thing.
right.
It's just that we choose to live our life as far as with we live our life as far as someone of the same gender,
Correct.
or we decide to transition because that's how we feel inside.
And then me, it took me a long time, like because when I used to see y'all, I used to see you as a girl all the time as well, like all the time, early in the morning, late at night. Like I had never seen this side of you until you did what you did. You know what I'm saying? I had never seen that. It took me a long time to call you Tobias because I only knew Missy. You know what I'm saying? That's all I knew. I didn't know Tobias because you came out way before I did. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know Tobias. I just really met Tobias, and getting to know Tobias, but I knew Nisi. That's who I knew. Like, so it took me a
I
long time to call you Tobias.
I think that's too like with a lot of like gay, like a lot of our community. Like when I came out, I really wasn't Tobias that long. It's like I was like 16, 17, and like Oshalada and I were like 16, 17 years old going to Booker T with hairstyles like girls, and like we would like my very first splash. I came to Houston for splash. I was like 16 years old, and I came to splash, and it was like that was just like it, and I saw like Tijuana, Brooks, and Diamond France on the show, and I saw them walking out there looking like women, and it was like
It opened up a whole new
Tobias was
world for you.
gone.
It
Tobias was
opened up a
gone.
whole new world for you because that's how it was with me, y'all. That's how, like what you're describing. That's how it was for me with y'all. I'm like, hold up. Then I know I was out
I
the loop.
remember,
I was
I
fine.
remember the very first time we saw you when we
Right,
were walking, when we had moved into our house, and we was like standing outside, and Miss Monica said you was walking. Miss Monica said, "Hey, girl." I said, "Don't say that. That's a girl. She gonna be a girl."
right.
And then every
I
time she
remember
would
that,
see, she say,
and
"Hey,
I
girl."
looked at her real funny when she said it. I said, I looked at her real funny, but I know because I know me, and that day Miss Terry gave me my name. That exact day that you're talking about. Yep, Miss Terry named me Jasmine, and that name has just stuck with me forever. Like I never changed it. It just stuck with me forever because you guys who I had to look up to, me and my friends, we had to look up to y'all like me, Christina, and people like that. That's my best friend. Me and her not speaking right now, but I'm gonna get her on the show and we gonna hash that out. But y'all was who we had to look up to, and it opened a whole new world for me. Like you're describing, it opened a whole new world for me. I'm like, hold up, I need to, And then that's when I had got my gay mama Shay Shay Nook. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, she painted my face and she had put a ponytail on my head. She had wrapped all kind of stockings around it. My head was hurt. My head was hanging like this. She had dust my mug and it wasn't my shade. Yeah, I went through all that as well. And like that was the best. That was the best time of my life to me.
I think so. Like with myself, well, I think that as I look back now, because I'm like what 42, and when I look back on my life and I back on things that how I started off and how I am now, I wouldn't change anything in the world because I've met so many people and been able to interact with so many different people and do so many different things and have so many memories with so many people. And I would never ever change that because it's all a stepping stone within life. And then I explain it to people like when I meet people or when I'm dating guys. Well, I forgot. When I'm dating or my significant other, and you have conversations about your life and you kind of think about where you've been and where you are, everything is a stepping stone.
Right.
Everything starts you out. Would I think about now at 42, um would I have not been Missy? No, that's who I was. That's who I started out as. That's how everybody knows me, and that's how everybody does. I was always quiet and cute and
Like that
pretty,
picture
and
you sent
just
me,
really,
I'm gonna print that out and
just,
I'm gonna hang it up in my house because
just like really like,
I love that picture. Like I love that picture. Like that's who I remember. That's who I know as a growing up. That's who I know. Like Tobias, I didn't know, but Missy, I knew, and that's who I know. And I'm gonna hang that picture up in my house. I'm gonna let you send it to me. And like I was trying to tell people, like you're saying, like that was a stepping stone for me because anything that happened to me in my life, I wouldn't change it for nothing. Like me being shot 6 times, I wouldn't change that for nothing. That's
that's
right.
true.
That's
That's
right,
true,
Chantel.
Chantel. That's true.
That's right.
As far as like the people you're around or the people that you are, they help you with your transition and they help you move on to who you actually really want to be, like the
Right.
role models and the people that you see. And it's a lot of stuff that as far as
Now they'll be like, Jasmine, I didn't know you were so sweet. Like because you never got a chance to know who I was. You only ran with what you thought. You know what I'm saying? You thought. So that's why you never knew who I was as a person. Yeah, but everybody thought we was the mean girls, but I really wasn't.
I think that I think that we weren't. I don't think that mean girls. I think we were just like really, we were like really snotty, and we were just like really like we're the it girls, and like our heads were so big. I remember one time, Miss Terry Ghoston. She was like one of Miss Terry's best friends. It was another Miss Terry. Her name was Terry Ghoston, and she was like a
Mm-hmm.
working girl or whatever.